move on to the next division. We got the AFC West. Now, we talked about AFC North being the best division in the AFC, but the AFC West got something to say about that. They really got something to say about that. We got a comment right here. I'm going to read it real quick before we move on. Steelers trash, Bengals mid, Browns just show up so they don't get fined. Shout out to Ty. Shout out to Ty. All right. AFC West, Chiefs, Chargers, I'm sorry, I'm saying from last year's order. Chiefs, Chargers, Broncos, and Raiders. The Raiders. AJ, what's your order?
All right, so for this one, I'm gonna go from the 4th to the top. All right. So number 4. I got the Raiders. I got the Raiders coming in at number 4. I don't see them doing much this year, right? I like their defensive line. Obviously, bringing back Crosby, big time re-sign. I was hoping he would end up in Philly, but everybody can't come to Philly. I understand. You know what I mean? Ski Mask, how we can't get everybody. So I get it. I understand. I'm like, all right, we talked about it on the phone. He like, man, I can't do everything. I got you, bro. I got you. Go ahead. It's all good. It's all good. Right. So I like that re-sign, obviously. So I like their defensive line. I think their defense in general is okay. I'm not super high on Geno Smith. I'm not super low on Geno Smith either. I think he's an okay quarterback. I think I wouldn't necessarily say he's as mid as like Trevor Lawrence. I think he's better than Trevor Lawrence. But how big is that gap? I'm not really sure, if I'm being honest. I'm not really sure. So I think Geno, I think he'll be okay. I think this is a really tough division for him to really be successful in, to be honest with you. Genty, man, I already don't like the fact they got Genty not doing his regular stance. But I know it's preseason, bro, but now he not doing his straight standing up stance. Now he got like a little bend in it. And like, I think psychologically for a young player, bro, like let him do his thing. Let him come in and play his game. But like, it was successful in high school. It was successful in college. Let him come in the pros and do his thing. But if I'm not mistaken, they got Chip Kelly, if I'm not mistaken. They got Chip Kelly over there. And, Chip Kelly always got to come in changing stuff up. I would know. Chip always got to come in and ruin the good thing. Always. That's his MO. That's his
MO. Can I hire him again? Can you go back and get him?
Oh, gosh, no. He stay exactly.
AJ Brown, Devontae, they all gone.
Bro, he trade all of our good players to the Commanders. He trade everybody to the Commanders, bro. Like, golly, bro. So, yeah, I don't expect much from them because I think Geno's okay, right? I think their defense is decent. I like their defensive front, but it's like, and I don't want to say I don't have no respect for Chip Kelly because that's a bit overboard, but I don't think Chip Kelly is going to be a good head coach. I just can't foresee that. I think he's going to be out of the league again.
OC.
Or whatever his assignment is, it ain't gonna go well. That's my prediction. Whatever he's doing, it ain't gonna go well. But thank you for that correction. And number 3, gotta make sure I got this order correct. I got the Chargers. I got the Chargers coming in at number 3. I think this division is gonna be real tight. I got the Chargers at 3. I think they're gonna give the other 2 teams a run. I think they're gonna give the Broncos a run for their money. I think they're going to give the Chiefs a run for their money. But I'm a little higher on these other teams, and that's really what it came down to for me. I'm higher on the other teams. Y'all know how I feel about Herbert. I think Herbert is. I think he's good. I think he's good. I don't think he has shown that he's a winner yet. I do think he had a solid season last year. I love what their defense did last year. I love their head coach. I love the rookie Lad McConkey that they got last year. I think he's gonna have another solid year this year. And so I think they're going to be good. I just don't see them being as good as the Broncos or the Chiefs. All right. And that's the main reason why I got them at 3. Number 2, I got the Kansas City Chiefs.
Ooh, I knew it.
Number 2, I got the Kansas City Chiefs.
Knew it.
I think at some point, now we're going to get to playoff predictions later. I'm going to just put this out here. I still have the Chiefs getting into the playoffs. But as far as the division is concerned, as far as what they do this year, I think at some point it happens to just about every team. You get to a point where you just get tired. You get tired. These boys have been winning their division every single year since Mahomes been a starter. They've been in the NFC Championship, or AFC Championship, if I'm not mistaken, every year since Mahomes been a starter. They've been in the Super Bowl multiple times, back to back. Last year was just their 3rd time in the Super Bowl. And if I'm being honest, I know the Eagles dominated them last year in the Super Bowl, but they looked tired. They look tired, bro. They look like after the Eagles, like after the pick six, it looked like they was just like, bro, they got it, bro. They got it, man. Here you go, bro. Here, like, take it. Like, we don't feel like fighting back from being down 17-0 or fighting back from a deficit again. It sounds crazy. Psychologically, you look at Travis Kelce on the field. He just looking at Patrick Mahomes running around like, bro. He contemplated retirement this past season. He really didn't have a good season last year. If we being honest, he wasn't really himself. I know they coming back this season and they hungry and they motivated. But Joe said something to me last episode that's been on my mind, man. He said Patrick Mahomes lately. I'm gonna paraphrase this because he didn't say this, but I'm gonna put a 0 on 10 to make this 100. He said Pat been mid lately. He said Pat been mid to me, and I'm like, you know what, Joe? I might have to co-sign that. Every single game is close with these guys. I don't think that happens again this year. I think some of them close games are gonna end up being L's. I saw this with the Minnesota Vikings. I want to make sure I get the years right. I believe it was 2022. And then I think 2023 is where they didn't have a good season. Every game, if I'm not mistaken, for the 2022 season, it was close. And it was coming back and just having these miraculous comebacks and just doing special things. It's like they could not lose a one-score game to save their lives. Like they was winning them all. Then the next season, they couldn't get a one-score. They couldn't win a game within one score to save their life. In the playoffs, they lost to the Giants. Like, I just think at some point that flips. And I think the league catches up to the Chiefs this year. I think the division, to an extent, catches up to the Chiefs this year. I think they take a loss to the Chargers. I think the Broncos get them this year. That's just my opinion. And number one, I think the Broncos going to take the division. Now, if I had to write down numbers, I'd say the Broncos probably go like 12-5, and I see the Chiefs going like 11-6. Maybe even 12-5, but they kind of got the tiebreaker in the way. I got it being real close. I don't have the Broncos going 14-3 and the Chiefs going 9-8. Like I don't have the gap that big. I just got it as a real narrow gap, kind of like these close games they've been winning. A very narrow gap, but the Broncos pull it off in the end, and I think it's mainly because Sean Payton. I think that defense is going to be elite this year, and oddly enough, I talk about sophomore slumps. I called it with Jordan Love. I said they gassing up Jordan Love. I don't think he's going to be as good the following year. Now, granted, he dealt with injuries, so that's a part of the reason why he wasn't the same this year. But he wasn't quite the same. We talked about C.J. Stroud. I said, man, C.J. Stroud, they gassing him up. He in the media. He doing all this stuff. He feeling it, and he didn't have the greatest season. One thing I've noticed about Bo Nix, all the attention is on two quarterbacks from this past year. Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams. I ain't heard nothing about Bo Nix. And Bo Nix, at one point, you're not going to agree, but at one point, he was kind of pushing Jaden a little bit.
He was.
Rookie of the year. At one point, his stats. He was making his presence felt. You know what I mean? He was making his presence felt. You know, now obviously JD took off with it. He did his thing. Credit to him. But Bo Nix, he had a good year last year. I don't think he's going to have a sophomore slump, because I don't think he's been put on a pedestal that's gonna make people. I don't know how to really explain it, but like he's not put on a pedestal that I think he's exactly. I don't think he has a ton of pressure on him. I think he's going to improve and get better this year. And so I see the Broncos taking over this division just for this year. Not saying the Chiefs is gonna disappear off the map, but I think just for this year, I got the Broncos taking over the division and getting first place. I got the Broncos, I got the Chiefs, I got the Chargers, I got the Raiders. And I know as soon as I said I'm starting from fourth to first, y'all knew where I was going.
Well, I'm going to start with the first to fourth so I can rebuttal what you just said. I'm going with the Chiefs, man. Okay. You just said, I got to see it to believe it.
That's fair.
Those your words. The Chiefs have won the division 9 years in a row, and we think the guy. You see the preseason game?
I did. He gonna come out. He hungry. He look hungry.
That's the guy. That's the guy that's gonna dethrone the Chiefs. The guy who was getting rushed by the pass rusher and just threw it up, and it was intentional grounding on fourth down. So I think Bo Nix will be better. I've seen some videos of him putting in work and all that stuff. he is going under the radar because everybody understands that. I mean, he did have what, a top 2, top 3 defense last year. I get it, yeah. But he played well. But let's talk about the Chiefs. You said that they played a lot of close games, which they did. Now, let's not forget Rashee Rice was out for the whole year.
True.
Hollywood Brown missed most of the year. Hollywood Brown will be back. I think he's hurt still, though. I think he just got a minor injury.
I think he's going to be back at some point. If not,
he's going to play. Xavier Worthy, I expect a leap from him. He took a leap in the Super Bowl when the game didn't matter no more. Rashee Rice, he will get suspended. We don't know how many games yet, but he will be there this year. And this team is motivated. The last time I saw Mahomes look bad in his last playoff game, he won MVP. Last time I saw him, I remember he went against the Bengals, and I could not recognize him in the second half. I couldn't recognize him. And he came back and had over 5,000 passing yards, and he won MVP over your boy Jalen Hurts. Hey, I could have been an MVP in your boy.
I needed it. I think about that from time to time. Like, man, if he had that MVP too. Ooh.
Come on, man. Nobody gonna say nothing to you, right? Come on now.
It's tough, bro. But we snatched that Super Bowl from him, so we good. We call it even.
But that year, he got it. But anyways, though, look, man. The last person to win MVP in Super Bowl since Kurt Warner. But that year, Juju, MVS.
Yeah.
I mean, who was the receivers? This is probably his best receiver corps since Tyreek Hill left. This best. And on top of that, their rookie Josh Simmons, they drafted in the first round. I mean, high praises, dude. I'm hearing like next Trent Williams, all this stuff, right? He's looking good. So the problem with him last year, the offensive line was killing him, right? I think he took the most hits that he ever took in his whole career last year. So drafting him was going to be a big plus. But this is a motivated team. They look terrible in the Super Bowl, right? They know that teams are catching up. And I cannot – this is another situation, like you said about the Bengals. I got to see it to believe it.
I feel that.
Somebody got to dethrone these dudes. I'm not going to just pick them. Like, that ain't happening. I'm picking the Jags over the Texans before I'm picking the Broncos over the Chiefs. These dudes won 9 times in a row. And the Broncos weren't close last year. Let's remember that. They were not close last year. Chiefs lost 1 game. No, 2. 1 game they tried. They lost 1 on purpose, but they really lost 1 game with Patrick Mahomes. That was with the Bills. That's it. So I ain't doing that. Number 2, Broncos. I do think the Broncos will lead the Chargers, though. Broncos second string look better than the Stars. Yeah, but it's preseason, though.
It's preseason.
Shout out to Devin Burns from Cedar Hill.
Yes, sir.
But I got the Broncos number 2. I think the Broncos have the best defense in the division. Bo Nix, do I expect like a huge leap? No, I really don't, AJ. I think he'll be similar from last year. I think he will. But do I see like him falling? No, I don't see that. I think I see him from last year. That's what I see. I think the Broncos are a really solid team. You know what I mean? Like when they play the bad teams, they will win. You know what I mean? They'll beat the bad teams because they have a good defense. But when they play these good teams, that's when I think that Bo Nix won't get them over that hump against these good teams. So give me them my number 2. And number 3, the Chargers. Jim Harbaugh, they can easily be number 2. I think number 2 spot and 3 spot can flip-flop. But Jim Harbaugh, I feel like in the second year, he can be better. But after what I saw from Justin Herbert last year, I'm sorry, AJ. Now, here's the funny part, AJ. I'm about to give you some. I'm gonna give your guy some praise. Your guy gets killed, right? Jalen Hurts. If y'all don't know who this guy is, you see the logo in the back. We ain't talking about Luka right now, but Jalen Hurts, right? He gets killed because y'all had to dial it back for y'all to win games. Y'all did,
That's what they say, but I'm gonna let you rock. I
mean, it's the truth, AJ. I mean, y'all throwing the ball a lot in the first 4 games, and then y'all dialed it back. But it's fine. It's fine.
You gonna give him some credit, so I'm gonna let it rock.
It's fine. It's fine. Okay. Guess who else they did? Guess who else they had last year? Justin Herbert.
Yeah.
Justin Herbert dialed it back, and guess what happened? He finally made it to the playoffs again. Finally. Now, am I saying Justin Herbert was the reason? No, but here's the tricky part about it, though. He dialed it back. They won the games. And then when he threw it more, they lost the game.
Yep.
Threw 3 interceptions. He threw more interceptions through the whole year. That scar, that's still in my mind. I'm sorry. And I do feel like the Broncos, like overall, they probably have the better team overall. Now, Justin Herbert is the better quarterback. I feel like than Bo Nix. And Jim Harbaugh can challenge Sean Payton as a better coach. That's up in the air. But I'm going to go with the Broncos taking the lead. They have the younger guy. It's more likely the younger guy will get better than the guy who's been here for what, 7 years? How long he been here now? 5 years?
It's 5, 6, somewhere
6
around
years? Mm-hmm. You know? So I'm going to go on third. And then Geno Smith, man, I'm sorry, man, 4th. Y'all 4th. You know, Pete Carroll coming in talking about, I win at least 10. I forgot what he said. I win at least 10 games, bro. You won 10 games like 4 times your whole career. Let's relax. Legion of Boom is not here right now. All right. I was high on the Raiders last year, but Geno Smith, I'm not a big Geno fan, man. I'm just not. Like, I don't dislike Geno, but I think he gets too much praise. I think he gets hyped up too much. And I know I think you compared Geno to somebody earlier. You compared Geno to somebody earlier.
Trevor Lawrence.
Trevor Lawrence is more talented. Geno is just a more veteran player. He's more seasoned in the game, so he's much smarter than Trevor Lawrence. But when Trevor gets to Geno's age, I believe he'll be better than Geno. But give me them my 4. So I got Kansas City, Broncos, Chargers, and Raiders.
No, David, we can't come to that agreement. We cannot come to the agreement that Justin Herbert is the best young QB right now. Absolutely. First off, is he still a young QB? Are we still putting that tag on him? Like, no, bro. No, he's not. No.
Justin Herbert. I think Joe Burrow came away.
Around the same age.
They probably the same age. You're right.
Yeah, they were around the same age, bro. No, I can't. No, bro.
Justin Herbert, 27 years old.
That ain't young no more, bro. Jalen Hurts, 26. I think he just turned 27. We know
Justin Herbert came in the 2020. Bro, he came in the league the same year as Joe Burrow.
I mean,
what are you talking about?
I'm sorry, bro. I can't with Herbert. I can't. I've seen enough.
Herbert ain't better than JD5. Come on, man.
I mean, we just saw JD in the NFC Championship, so I'm not going to refute that. I do want to see another year, but I ain't going to refute that too much. I'm not. I do want to say, 2 things before we move on. People say this, and I'm not going to take long on it. I promise. I'm going to just say it. I'm going to move on. People say this all the time about Hurts.
Okay.
And I'm just like, bro, like, there's context. First off, let me just say this.
Okay.
I was going to save this clip for a 1v1 that was supposed to happen, but at this point, I'm just like, that'll, whatever with it, right? Number one, I think the Philadelphia Eagles are smart. The way to win in today's game, unless you are Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes throw the ball 80 times and still win. That's just him, right? But Joe Burrow don't win though.
My bad.
Yeah. So what I'm getting at is the Eagles are smart. I think the way to win in today's NFL is to establish the run as much as possible and limit your quarterback's attempts, right? Mm-hmm. Patrick Mahomes is one of the few that gets away with it. He's just on it. I just think Patrick is just who he is. He gonna push Tom Brady for GOAT standing like that. We just put him in a class of his own, right? But like Josh Allen can throw it with the best of them. We all know that. When they got a new offensive coordinator a couple years ago, what did they do? They dialed it back, started to get a ball to James Cook, and what did they do? They made a push, right? The Philadelphia Eagles see stuff like that, and they say, look. First off, what people don't understand, people say they dialed Jalen Hurts back. The Eagles are supposed to go 3-1. People forget about that drop pass Saquon Barkley had against the Falcons. People forget that. We were supposed to be 3-1. And people also forget the fact that AJ missed 3 games, Devontae missed a game and a half, and Lane Johnson didn't play in that game against Tampa. So, like, in my personal opinion, them first 4 weeks, like, we actually, in my opinion, given the injuries, we kind of exceeded expectations. I'm not going to lie, given what we had to overcome and what we dealt with. But I'm going to leave that alone. We say that for another day. I just want to get that out. Like, people will be like, hey, they started off 2-2, and then they went from 2-2. Like, no, like, instead of trying to air it out coming out of the bye, which they kind of did against the Browns, but instead of airing it out like that again, coming off of the bye, Saquon Barkley being here all season so far, Jalen Hurts been here all season so far. The offensive line been healthy with the exception of Lane Johnson. Let's come out of this bye. Let's run the ball more with the guys that's here instead of trying to get that cohesion back in the passing game. AJ Brown and Devontae Smith is going to be there. Let's get the offensive run game going. And Saquon took off to a point where it's like, bro, we got to keep giving him the ball. That's how I feel it went personally. That's just me. But I want to get back to the Chiefs, to obviously the most important thing. Like, let's get back to that. I think the one time I saw this was when it was the New England Patriots. And no matter what happened, as long as Brady was healthy, they was going to always win their division, and it was going to always go on a playoff run.
Yep.
So I do believe Pat is that guy. Don't get me wrong. He is that guy. But I also believe there's only one Tom Brady. And I think at some point, we're going to see it drop off. Now, it's not going to last long. But I think at some point, we are going to see a drop off in the Chiefs and in Patrick Mahomes. And I really foresee it being this year, fresh off of getting stumped out the way they did in the Super Bowl. Like, at some point, I believe, like any other normal team in the league, that Super Bowl hangover kick in. It's happened to some of the best teams we've seen go to the Super Bowl, win or lose the Super Bowl. At some point, it's going to kick in. Now, again, I could be wrong because, like I said before, like I just got done saying, Patrick Mahomes is he's just different. That's just who he is. Andy Reid is just different, right? But I'm getting to the point where I don't want to sound like Max Kellerman, where he came out and said Tom Brady is going to fall off a cliff. I don't want to sound like that. But what I will say is, I think this year I will be the guy that steps out on that ledge and says, I think we beat y'all so bad, y'all ain't going to be the same the next year. Ooh. I think we stumped y'all. So you come out, you motivated, you hungry. We going to be the big bad wolves. No, I think we stumped y'all so bad, y'all not going to be the same for a year. That's what I think. I think y'all going to be in the wild card round of the playoffs fighting. That's what I think.
Wild card.
That's what I think. I mean, they don't win their division. They got to be wild card.
Wow.
So I think they're going to be, but they going to make it. And Pat going to have a good year. I don't see him having a bad year. But them as a whole, I mean, that beatdown was crazy. That straight elbow, punch, uppercut. Like, it was bad. It was bad. Like, y'all got to show me y'all can bounce back from that. Like, y'all got to show me, like you said before, the Tampa Bay beatdown was different. That was different. You know what I mean? Like, the Tampa Bay beatdown was different because the whole O-line was hurting. Pat still looked like Pat. But now, defense is looking like, now every team ain't the Eagles. Every team don't have the personnel that the Eagles have. But you know them other AFC teams looking like, bro, these guys. Ravens do. I mean, that's true. That's true. Yeah, thank you for bringing that back up. That's true. But you know these other AFC teams is looking at these guys like, bro, we can get them. Mm-hmm. We can get them. And I know the Broncos, with that defense, that you could make the argument right there with Philly. They defense is like that. You slow them dudes down and Bo Nix give you enough on offense. I see this being a year, man. They get knocked off. I think they bounce back next year and go back to being the Chiefs. But I think this year, bro, I think after that whooping it, I mean, everybody just don't bounce back after that. You know what I mean? Everybody can't bounce back after that. I don't think they bounce back this year. That's all.
I mean, like you said, Brady missed a play. Well, the Patriots missed the playoffs one time since 2003, I think. And that was in 2008 when Brady got hurt. And they still won 11 games that year with Matt Castle.
That's true.
But you said it's only one Brady. Did you know that Patrick Mahomes on a greater start than Brady?
I know.
There's only one Mahomes. Let's say that. There's only one Mahomes.
That's true.
They not losing AFC West. They not.
Don't see. It's
they not, man. This is one prediction you made. I'm gonna say you probably got this one wrong, bro.
Yeah, I'm stepping out on a limb, and I knew when I was writing it down, I said this one. I'm gonna step on a limb, but I think the Broncos get them out this year. I do. But
might be a genius.
Hey, and you know if I am, I'm gonna be posting, reclipping. I'm gonna be. Hey, I told y'all. You know what I mean? I told y'all. But last division of the day,